Assalamu alaikum. Today I want to talk to you about 3 very successful Muslim women, and I think you will appreciate this whether you're a Muslim or not. And the reason I want to do this is because a couple of years ago, when I was learning about Islam, I couldn't believe that women had all of these rights and equality between men and women existed 1400 years ago when Islam was introduced. And I think this is really misunderstood. I, for one, would never convert to Islam if it wasn't for women having the rights that they have today, that, as I say, were introduced 1400 years ago. And it really saddens me to think that for some reason we don't see that as the truth. There seems to be a very misunderstood version of Islam. I certainly agree there's pockets of cultural influence, but that's not Islam. So without further ado, I want to just mention 3 really respectable women, and there's many, by the way, but I just want to give you 3 today that amazed me when I learned about Islam. So number 1, Fatima, may Allah be pleased with her. So she used her inheritance to fund the very first university that we know as a higher education institute today. So without her pioneering that higher education, we wouldn't be studying in the universities and the systems as we know now, which I thought was amazing. Secondly was Khadija, may Allah be pleased with her. So Khadija was a very commercially savvy businesswoman in her own right, had her own money, her own wealth, and was very, very well respected. And she went on to marry the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But she had that kind of fierce, strong, inspirational kind of character, yet she was a very loyal and supportive woman. And she played a significant role in firstly becoming the first Muslim woman, but also to support the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam through a time when people weren't there to support him or didn't understand what he was actually experiencing at the time. And there's a really strong, powerful hadith to back that, and I'll put that in the description because actually it's quite moving. And finally, correct me if I don't say this in the right way, Nusayba, who was again one of the earlier converts to Islam. She was a companion of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and she took part in the Battle of Uhud, and she carried a sword and a shield and went into battle fighting basically, and supported the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and protected him, mashallah. So if that's not equality, then I'm not sure what is. So these 3 women, mashallah, were just a couple that I wanted to mention today because isn't it amazing how we don't hear often about Muslim women in history and how women have these rights and they're elevated, and I'd love to go into that another day, but for now that's a start. So any questions, let me know. If there's anything you'd like to add, please go ahead in the comments. I love learning. I'm a sponge when it comes to Islam, so feel free to comment below, and have a great day. Take care. Assalamu alaikum. Bye.